Who is going to be in your story? What is going to happen to them? When is it going to happen? Where is it going to happen? And ultimately, why did it happen? Then, what are you going to do about it? Who was responsible? Where is this investigation going to lead you? Why are you getting involved and not leading the whole thing up to the professionals? All these really simple words have very complex applications and implications to your writing, to your story, to your ideas, to your thought processes. And I hate to inform you of this, but that is not confined to writing mystery, suspense, romance, westerns, fiction, nonfiction, or anything else. It's something that you deal with every day. What are you going to do? Why do you need to do this? What are they asking you? Who do you have to deal with? How are you going to get this accomplished? This is a really complex and simple application of how art imitates life, how life influences art. In your story, these are real people. Granted, they only exist in the narrow universe of your imagination and your storyline, but they're still people. They have wants, needs, desires. They have likes, they have dislikes, they have fears, they have dreams, they have passions, they have traumas. They have all these things that go into making them who they are and influencing how they interact with other people. And if you realize that every person that you meet when you're walking down the street, when you're going to the post office or the grocery store or going out to dinner, has a who, what, where, why, or when to their story happening right now. You realize that each character, the main character, the supporting character, even the ones that are just kind of do walk-ons, they all have the same thing. And how they approach that who, what, where, when, why, how, influences how they're going to interact with everyone else. It could be somebody who's had a really hard life. They're going to be suspicious. They're going to be distrustful. By the same token, somebody else who's had just as hard of a life can be very compassionate and understanding and supportive. Somebody who is very fortunate and wealthy and popular and has everything going for them as far as the standards of society go could be very self-centered, could be very greedy, could be, a typical Ebenezer Scrooge. Whereas somebody else in the same situation could be very generous, very philanthropic, very community-oriented. You can take the same set of circumstances and you can apply them in a whole bunch of different ways, both good and bad. Sit down and look at your character. Consider their who, what, where, when, and why. What were the things that defined them? How have they handled that? And realize that everybody else is going to be the same way. That's going to send out an interesting array of colors. And if you look closely at any spectrum shining from the prism, you'll realize that the colors aren't clearly delineated. They all blend together. There's a little bit of one at the other end of the spectrum, and vice versa. There's a little bit of good in all the bad. There's a little bit of bad in all the good. And there's an awful lot kind of in between. So don't look at it so much as a challenge that needs to be met. Look at writing and the who, what, where, when, and why as a fantastic opportunity to be really, really creative. The only thing that's holding you back is your own imagination.